Hey guys, it's Mike Fitzpatrick with Keller Williams Real Estate. We're starting up a new series called Feedback Friday. So every week we meet with the team and our transaction coordinator to go over our deals, Q&A, everything, our successes, our failures, and stuff like that. So a lot of these are really good stories to share with everybody. That's in relation to, our transactions and also in the real estate world. So today we're going to go over 3 topics. So the topics we're going to go over today, number 1, are moving companies. Second segment is going to be the pre-approval process. Third is going to be about HOA and condo docs. And the third, curb appeal. So moving companies. All right, so I'm going to give you my history. So back when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, hey, $19 U-Haul. We got a couple people together, moved into furniture, moved into boxes, then we had pizza and beer. The next day, we had broken items, our backs felt the way they were broken. Fast forward, we do a little bit more professional. You get professional movers in there. And even in today's world, there's professional moving companies out there. Like one I'll recommend off the top of my head is Riley Sons. Riley and Sons have been, have been in business for 2, maybe 3 generations. They're located in Northeast Philadelphia, and they're by far a 5-star company. This is probably the only one of the top 3 companies I do recommend because of area. We do have some South Jersey companies as well. But what I like about Riley is that they meet your needs. So in our scenario, in our last move, when we sold our empty nest and got a forever home, they came in, they had it all laid out for us. They knew what we wanted. So they gave us like 6 rolls of tape and any of the supplies we need. Well, the 6 rolls of tape, 6, 7 rolls of tapes were different colors. Each color represented a room. So when we were done packing that box or wrapping that one item, we would tape it with that color, and they knew it had to go to the basement. They knew it had to go to bedroom number 2 or the kitchen. And it was great because they also scheduled the time around our settlements and around what was convenient for us, so they weren't inconvenience to us. So when it comes to moving companies, do your research, because guaranteed, there was a big giant price difference. We paid about probably $4,000 for that move compared to the $19.99 that we did in 1988. By far, I would have always used a professional mover because of the insurance, the customer service, and they do it every day. All right, next up is the pre-approval process. This is very, very important, especially in the beginning part of the game. You definitely want to get pre-approved, only because if you're out looking at a house on an open house, or maybe sometime at 8 o'clock and you realize that there's a multiple offer situation and there's a deadline, you may not be able to get your initial pre-approval done in time. This is why you want to get it done first. Am I locked in if I get pre-approved with somebody? Absolutely not. During the process, when you first are interviewing banks to when you're under contract, this is the period where you want to definitely look around to see what bank is best for you. If you're a first-time home buyer, 75% of you should be looking at small banks, credit unions, and stuff like that. They have more flexibility on the rate. But if rate's not important to you, you want to look at the customer service. You want to see how fast they get back to you. How knowledgeable are they? And how experienced are they? Are they going to call the listing agent to promote you, just like your agent's going to be doing? So these are the top 3 things that you want to look for when you're doing the pre-approval process. But if you're asking me, when do I get pre-approved? When you wake up that day and say, hey, I want to go buy a house. When do I commit to a mortgage company? Right before you put the offer in. So another common one we had today was the homeowners association and condo docs. Okay, first of all, they're 2 separate things. However, you can have a property that is in an HOA and that is also in a condominium association. So you could be living in a house paying the HOA, but you could be getting the benefits of the pool, the tennis court, or the condo association. Same thing with the condo association. You could be in the condo association paying that bill, but being a part of a homeowners association that may include something that's on their side. But they are 2 separate things. If you live in a house, whether it's a single house or a townhouse, you could be in a homeowners association. Usually it's common areas like tennis courts, areas that they have to keep up, there's small rules and regulations, and usually their fees are very, very cheap. When you get into the condo association, they cover a lot more. They cover usually the exterior of the building, and they also have a lot more amenities than the homeowners association. But both of these are important in one way. It's very, very important that once you get under contract on a property that has an association, whether it's a condo or homeowners, you want those docs immediately. You want to see what you can and what you can't do. You don't want to wait to the last minute and find out that there's no dogs allowed and you got a 50-pound Rottweiler. Ain't gonna work. So please read these documents, and don't be scared of the 365 pages, because you want to know what the most important page of those 365 pages of the condo docs and the homeowners docs, the page that you signed that says I have read and understood everything in here, and it's got your John or Jane Hancock on it. All right, so make sure you get this the first week after you go under contract. Very important. So the last good topic that we had this week, and it's been common in the last probably about 2 to 3 weeks since the weather was getting better, is curb appeal. Curb appeal is very important for buyers and sellers. Number one, for sellers, because it's impressional. You want that first impression when someone pulls up to the house and they go, wow, this is really, really nice. You know, this is you know, you're getting a good feeling even before you go into the house. But if I'm a buyer and I'm pulling up and there's no curb appeal whatsoever, you're kind of bringing my, it's going to be a letdown if that house is not banging on the inside, because if you can't keep the outside up, what makes you think the inside is going to look any better? Now I get it. You get some flippers out there that don't really care about the outside, that really, you know, they have really some nice pictures in there. They did the floors real nice. They did everything real nice. But curb appeal, it basically sets the mode for when you go into that house and you're like, okay, you're continuing on that mode. You're continuing on that day. This is really nice. So what do I need to do to, you know, get my curb appeal? First thing to do is call a landscaper. If you don't have anybody, reach out. We got plenty of them that we can recommend. Landscaping can go anywhere from the bare minimum, keeping the grass cut where it's maintainable, trim it, make sure it's all cleaned up. You also want to look at shrubberies. Do I need to add anything? Do I need to take anything out? Does something need a haircut? Trim it down a little bit. How about lights? We're a big fan of Govee lights. Everybody loves Christmas because the house is all lit up. You just wish it was Christmas all year round. So they came out with these lights. They're called Govee lights. I think it's called Govee or Wovie lights. I think it's Govee lights. But they're permanent. And you can change the colors. You can do whatever you want with it. But these are items that you might want to do to spruce up the curb appeal. Oh, and here's another one. If you have a pool and it's spring and summer, it better be open, because if not, definitely a huge drawback. Okay? Any more tips on curb appeal, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to send some out to you. All right, that concludes our first Feedback Friday. So tune in for next Friday. We'll have a couple more stories for you. And like I said before, if you have any questions, or you want to put your story on, or you want to do a video of your own story, send it to us at selling_your_house@yahoo.com, or reach out to us at 267-549-2505, or put a link in the thread and we'll contact you. Talk to you later.